The Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League is back at the Indiana State Fair this week with 2 truck classes ready to rumble. The hot rod semis enter round 5 of competition with the top 3 separated by only 14 points. Teammates Mike Larby and Joe Metzger are in the hunt for the lead, carried by Greg Dean and the Bad Dog. Terry Hagedorn has proven once again he has a winning formula to lead the class. He's got 2 rounds left to hold off challenger Pete McKeith and Just Rutten. The action starts now.
Tractor pulling. The ultimate test of power. Purpose-built vehicles create thousands of horsepower using turbos and superchargers, alcohol fuel, and multi-engine configurations to see who can pull the farthest. A sled weighing thousands of pounds is used to stop the pulling vehicles. A moving weight box progressively adds resistance to end the run. The sled is customized for classes ranging from customized farm tractors to multi-engine modifieds. Teams spend countless hours preparing their machines for competition. Thousands of dollars are spent traveling to events across 10 states, maximizing power and repairing broken parts. The season is long, and the competitors have to maintain focus every pull to compete for a class championship. This is Tractor Pulling with the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League.
Welcome to the motorsports capital of the world. We're at the Speedco Indianapolis Pro Pulling Nationals presented by E3 Spark Plugs. Ken Stout and a very excited Leslie Mears here at the Indiana State Fair to cover all the action for you with the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League. And we can't wait to get things started. The hot rod semis are in the house, and we have no shortage of modified four-wheel drive trucks.
It's just amazing the amount of vehicles that show up here for the Indy Super Pull. The Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League brought it back a few years ago, and it's one that no one on the tour wants to miss.
Here's a look at the points inside of the hot rod semi category, and Greg Dean leading it with the Mack. Mike Larby, former class champion. Joe Metzger right behind him. Dana Lindsay, she's another former class champion, so there's some talent back behind Greg Dean, who's trying to hang on. And Joe Metzger and Brachiosaurus will hook up to the sled first. We have a couple of great pit reporters that will keep us up with all the action down at trackside. And let's get it down to Crash Gladys to get things started.
Guys, you know, it's never easy going first in the class, but especially going first after the track has been washed. You're the first guy in the afternoon session. How do you prepare for that?
You just look at the track. We watched a session that went on early today, and it looked like they was having a lot of trouble getting a hold of the track. But it looks like this track might be a little better tonight. But if I had to choose tonight, I want to be first. I want to go out and try to make the best pass, and hopefully the rest of them follow behind.
And these guys watch the afternoon session intently. Even though the track is ripped up between sessions, they still know where the moisture content is and where the best point is to mark the sled.
It twists the front of that chassis up, picks up that left front tire, but it plants all those rear tires, 282 and 83. Keep in mind, those are DOT tires as well as we go on board.
And you can watch the shadow here and just see the torque of the machine as he makes a pretty straight pass down the track. Test puller, you know, you've got to think he's really thinking about this pass because he was really unsure of that first hook spot.
And that is a good truck, too, and it laid up a little bit short, so it wouldn't surprise me to see him start thinking about changing that sled a bit. There's a look at our pulling order here in Indianapolis. Metzger out first, followed by a tough Tom Lindsay and Lou Shankman. Greg Dean, our points leader, will be down there in fourth, and Joe Hoffa will round out the top 5. And here comes the Built for Business truck driven by Tom Lindsay. Of course, his wife is Dana Lindsay. We'll see her up here in just a little bit. Tom can definitely get it done. A ton of experience. Look at that front drive axle, too. It's just planted. The mark to beat, 282 and 83. He gets out there at 3:02.07 across that 300-foot mark, and we have a new leader.
And this is a nice, solid pass here by Tom Lindsay. And, you know, he missed the very first hook of the year, came back with a win, a second, and a fourth so far in our 4 events this season. So, you know, he's got the old girl wicked up, and she's ready to run. So that is going to be a tough mark for the rest of the pack out there.
Yeah, he's been climbing up in the points for sure and got off to a pretty slow start. Don't ever count him out. All right, Lou Shanklin coming up next. The name of this truck is Black Sheep, and a little bit earlier, Terry Boyd had a chance to speak with Lou.
Lou Shanklin and the Black Sheep had some troubles in Goshen, Indiana. Didn't make the show that night. What happened, Lou?
We started to truck the head to Goshen. We didn't have any oil pressure. We woke up again in the morning, threw another oil pump on it, and it's still no oil pressure. So we thought probably not a good idea to run that truck with no oil pressures. We had to fit that one out, tear it all apart. Takes a little more than 45 minutes to rebuild one of these, so couldn't get her done in time.
Bottom line, you had to be ready to come to Indy. What's so special about coming here to Indy?
This is just one of the favorite places we have to come. I mean, it's in the heartland, right smack in the middle of everything. You know, this is just where we like coming. I mean, it's a great states fair here. You get to come here, bring the whole family, spend a day. It's great.
And of course, the 45-minute comment is in relation to what the guys at NHRA will do with a massive crew and a car that's designed to have an engine rebuilt in that span of time. These guys just do not do that. The old Dodge digging hard right there for sure. 275 and 26, but unfortunately will lay up well short.
And you can see some problems there at the end as he had a little fire coming out of the stack. Also, you know, this team really working hard, you know, not only to, you know, keep the truck on the track, but also, you know, change their program up a couple years ago to be a lot more competitive, added an extra turbocharger out there so they could move out of the single charger class. And so, you know, they're really progressing, you know, in their team. And with more experience on the track, they're going to get just even better.
The next player behind the wheel, the 1989 Mack, and this Bulldog has been bad to the bone all season long. This is our points leader, Greg Dean, and he's off to a great start with 3 podiums in the first 4 events, including 2 wins. Tom Lindsay setting the mark at 3:02.07, and 3:02.69 is just going to snake by.
You know, Greg Dean's such a hard charger here in the Bad Dog, and you can see just letting it all out there. Nice, tight, solid stream of black smoke coming out of the stack there for him, so he's moving lots and lots of good air with the Bad Dog machine.
A difference of about 8 inches or so at the end of the day. That's how tight it can get out here inside of these categories at the professional level. So Greg Dean takes over the lead. We'll find out if he can hang on to it. There's some talented trucks and drivers back behind him. There's a look at your top 3, and we'll be right back.
The Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League is brought to you by E3 Spark Plugs, born to burn. General Tire, anywhere is possible. And by Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
And there's a beautiful look at the Circle City. Welcome back to Indianapolis. This is the Speedco Indianapolis Pro Pulling Nationals presented by E3 Spark Plugs, and we're going to get it down to Terry Boyd. He's with Big John Mears to find out where they're going to set this sled and the full pull mark.
John Mears, he's our track official. He's ahead of everything out here. Is the sled official at this point?
Yeah, we changed our setting from what we originally thought. We looked at the track. We did a couple test drags. We went ahead and made it a little heavier to start with. I think 320 pull line will be sufficient tonight, and we'll see if we can get a pull off in the Mack Trailer Hot Rod Semis.
320 will be a pretty good effort out of somebody here today.
That's really stout out here this afternoon. And I mean, maybe the officials think that there's a little bit more track, or there's maybe a groove out there that these trucks are going to find. We are, you know, still in the infancy of the class here, so tough characters to come here, just like Joe Hoffa, former class champion in this category with Class Act.
And it slings off to the right just a little bit, but no sooner than we say that, and look at this. 3:26 and 39. Talk about taking the lead by a country mile. That is getting it done, and only the second time we've seen him this year.
Joe Hoffa, Chris Wood, great team here. The guys back at the shop just worked so hard on this piece, and they decided to upgrade this year. Another team that went from a single charger, which they won the championship with, and decided to put multiple chargers on it. It's basically a brand new piece for the season, and it looks like it out there.
Yeah, it's called Class Act, and you know why now. I mean, that is a beautiful piece of machinery, and needless to say, it's also performing as good as it looks.
I mean, man, call me a liar. I didn't think anybody was going to get out there, and then he just blew the doors off.
I mean, I'm with you. You take a look at Tom Lindsay and Greg Dean. I mean, that's two really solid trucks. Both of them just barely squeaked by the 300-foot mark. So to see 326, we were both in amazement. All right, up next will be Jeremy Walker. This truck's called Two of a Kind. Boy, just kind of rocking that nose up and down at the very end, and another big number here at 3:14 and 78.
It's interesting because both Hoffa in Class Act here and Jeremy Walker in Two of a Kind have both started a little further to the left of center and then traveled across to the right side of the track. The other four competitors that we saw with it came up a little bit shorter. They traveled right to left. So there's something about the travel across the track here today where it's got good bite in it for these guys.
I think they could just put a ski up there on the left front. That left front tire never turned a bit. Pretty amazing to watch these things load up these chassis. Well, here comes another very solid truck inside of the category. It's called Shameless. Mike Larby talked about former class champions, and he is one of them.
We had a little hitch there off the line.
And the 71 Chevy also digging really hard to get past that 300-foot mark. 3:08 and 18. Good enough for third place right now.
He is a single charger truck, but watch that front left tire as it comes up. And then just kind of, it catches just a little bit there, like he wasn't quite hooked up hard enough and had to use a little more power right there. So interesting for Larby. I wonder if there's some kind of mechanical breakage inside there for him.
That was a really good catch, too. And whatever it was, I mean, it was bound up. It was really binding. And, of course, putting pressure on the rear tires. And I wonder whatever broke there released that and took a little bit of pressure away from the rear tires and consequently not quite as far. This one's called the Double Down. And that is the other half of the Two of a Kind. So Terry is with Jeremy Walker.
Jeremy Walker's a bit of a legend when it comes here to Indy. He was a two-time hero last year, two-time zero. Hoping to get back to a two-time hero here this afternoon.
Yeah, we've been coming to Indianapolis State Fair since I was 8 years old. We was pulling antiques then we went to graduate up to hot farm stock, then we laid off a little bit. I mean, Indy's one of our favorites. I remember coming here when I was a kid, you know, pushing tractors up and down the trailers like everybody else does here. But last year was unfortunate with us. Last year we had two trucks. One of them made a pull off, but it blew up and was unfortunate to come back. But this year I think we're all freshened up and we're going to give them hell this week.
I mean, these guys love pulling here. The only time he's missed the Indy Super Pull was when his wife was expecting and he had to stay home.
And I got to tell you, I mean, a good number here at 3:06, but what happened at the beginning of that pull is what caught my ear and eye. That thing sounded like it had a sequential shifter in it, and he snagged a gear just after he started pulling. Pretty impressive stuff for sure. There's a look at your top three in the Hot Rod Semi category. We're at the Indiana State Fair. Great time for everybody here at the Speedco Indianapolis Pro Pulling Nationals, presented by E3 Spark Plugs. Lots of good eats and treats. Everybody having fun. And, of course, we are watching the best in truck and tractor pulling out here, courtesy of the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League. Red Hot and Rollin' is the name of the truck. Dana Lindsay, wife of Tom, is behind the wheel. And much like Tom's truck, I mean, it just really hikes up that left front tire, loads up that front drive axle. 290 and 84 is the distance.
And it's been a tough season here for the former class champ, as she's yet to make it on the podium.
Yeah, certainly not like her. I mean, they always so solid between her and Tom, and both off to a relative slow start here in the front of the 2014 season. Of course, this starts off the back half of the season for this category here. So if they're going to make a run at a championship, you better be on the wheel right now.
Hillbilly Deluxe Mark Rook coming out of Jeromesville, Ohio. And, you know, it's interesting. The state of Ohio has so many great single charger hot rod semis that they come out here and play on the Champions Tour as well.
And Mark Rook's just not going to have quite enough steam for him out here today. 278 and 94. That'll put Joe Hoffa up top as our class winner. We'll watch this one more time.
You know, it's always great to just watch the torque, see the lean, and then look how solid those rear tires are planted with those airbags. Just the engineering that goes into making that work is just amazing.
So once again here, Mark Rook will pull off out of the way, but the category is set. Our winner is going to be Joe Hoffa with that huge 326-foot effort. Crash?
As you guys know, this is only the second hook for Joe Hoffa this year because they've made so many changes to the tractor, but second hook, taking the win, nothing is better than that.
No, we're pretty proud of that. We did a bunch of changes over the winter with the motor, and first couple hooks we couldn't get it together, but tonight seemed to work all right.
What sort of changes helped you with this win today? Because you did go 12 feet farther than anybody else.
Well, last year we were a single charger hookup. This year we're a multiple charger, so we gave ourselves a little more horsepower, and I think tonight that really helped.
Here's a look at our final results for the hot rod semi category as Joe Hoffa is atop the group, followed by Jeremy Walker, Mike Larby, and Jeremy Walker again inside of the top five. Then our points leader, Greg Dean.
Jeremy Walker, we talked to him earlier this afternoon. He wanted to go from zero to hero. I say he's done a pretty good job here in Indy. Second place tonight, pretty darn good.
Yeah, we got second with my truck and got a fourth with my dad's truck. Hey, we came to Indy, we gave it all we got, and my family's here, and we just had a good time, good family event. I want to thank Mac Trailers for helping us put the pole on, Speedco, and Lucas Oil. At least we don't have one tore up this year, and hey, we just gave it all we got. We just don't have no excuses. They just outpulled us.
Well, the points are going to remain relatively unchanged here, except for third and fourth. Dana Lindsay with that hook today finds herself just above Joe Metzger and the Brachiosaurus. Let's head back to the podium for third.
We were just talking a little bit off mic about how it's been an up and down year for Mike Larby, but you'll take this third place at Indy at 308 feet, huh?
Yeah, great hook tonight. The Walkers and the Class Act team beat us. They had great hooks, and Shameless did good. We ran it hard. We pulled a big gear. We turned the engine up. I don't know what else I could have done, so we're really excited about our run tonight. Got 6 points back on Greg Dean, the points leader. So we're creeping our way up from second, trying to overcome Greg before the season's over. He's a great competitor. Didn't have the best run tonight. Hard work's paying off. I want to thank our team, all Lucas and all the Lucas sponsors, Mac Trailer for sponsoring the semi class, all our great sponsors at home, our engine builders, everybody. Thank you very much. We couldn't do it without you, our whole team. Super Joe had a bad run tonight. I tried to get him up here in the podium. He's back here pouting. He took that test hook. For some reason, he put the sled in there sideways. Who the hell know what he was thinking? But anyhow, Super Joe, thanks for all your help. Sorry you suck.
No love lost there. And to think that they're teammates. That should be a nice ride home. All right, the mod four-wheel drive trucks are coming up next. Stay with us.